Hello. Hold on. That's better. Hello, everybody. It's me, your host, Sauce 8. Oh God, I'm sweaty. Uh, um, we are going to be ranking Where's Garry custom enemies. Well, not just custom enemies, regular enemies too. Though I have not found or beaten any of the abyssal levels yet. I don't know what's in them. I just know that they are called abyssal levels and they are secrets inside of the secret levels. But yeah, we've got the normal campaign enemies, the secret level enemies, the custom mode exclusive enemies, and then the uh the custom enemies that are found in the bonus levels, which there is a lot of. So let's just get straight into it with the Minge Bag. The simplest enemy out of all of these, I think. They're very simple. They just patrol around, investigate noises, do 50 damage. They're very mid. They are very, very mid. They are, I mean, they're not even a threat for most of the bonus levels except for, well, power play. I think that's what it's called. We don't talk about power play. But anyways, yeah. Minge Bag, he's fine. Meaty. I'm also gonna put Meaty in a B tier, but above the Minge Bag. Because Meaty, his whole thing is that he's super fast, he's blind, and he hears very well, of course. He was difficult to deal with in Big City, but in my opinion, that was only because of Semper. We'll get into Semper right now. Semper is the most annoying enemy in the game, in my opinion. Like, he just never stops screaming, man. So that's why Big City took me longer to beat than the final level of the game. Took me longer to beat than Graveyard, with the final boss of the regular campaign. I'm putting him in an A tier. And if you guys don't know, S tier is the hardest and D tier is the least hard. Just like what we did in the Capture the Intelligence tier list. Next up we have Headsman. I want to put Headsman. I'm actually going to put Headsman above Meaty. For one, I really love Headsman's design. But also, Headsman is like, I mean, he's kind of like the Minge Bag, but he can see farther. That's basically it. I can't really say much about him. But then we move on to Garry himself. Garry, I'm of course putting in an A tier above Semper. He's difficult to deal with. He stops time, he teleports, he can do so much. Next up, we have Null. Now, Null is Ketchup Fan 2. That's what he is. He's Ketchup Fan 2. If you played Where's Garry, you know. Null is... He's, again, simple, but at least he has a special ability. The Headsman's quote-unquote special ability was just seeing farther. This dude can use a tool gun to scan his surroundings And once he scans, he locates you, so he'll go straight towards your location. I'm definitely gonna put him above the Minge Bag. But I don't think he's going above Meaty. Even though he's a secret boss, he was kind of underwhelming. Next up, the Big Maze enemies. The Administrator and the Apparition. First, the Administrator. The Administrator is really easy to deal with. He's only a bit faster than Semper, and I mean, once you get too far away from him, he starts running. But I never died to him in the Big Maze. I only died to this goober, the Apparition. Administrator is a joke. But anyways, next up is the Apparition. He's going in C tier. He is an inconvenience, a big one. When I'm trying to focus on the Administrator, the Apparition is appearing right behind me and killing me, which is not very nice. So, yeah. I don't got much to say. Next up, the Umbrella Man from Test Chamber 12 or something, or 11. Umbrella Man. So what the Umbrella Man does is when you hear a bell chime, you have a few seconds to hide before he just comes straight charging through. From the wall that he appears from to the wall in front of that wall. And I feel like this map is, like, the level that the Umbrella Man appears in is really good for the Umbrella Man. And, yeah. And I really love his design. Because, well, I'm a big fan of the Interloper ARG. I think it's really cool. So, I'm gonna put Umbrella Man, in terms of difficulty, his level was more difficult than the Big Maze. I'm gonna put him above Minge Bag, above Null, and above Meaty. Okay. We don't have anything in S tier yet, but we will very soon. Next up is, I was about to say Wraith, but no. It's spelled differently. It's spelled Ryath, or Ryath. I'm gonna call him Ryath. This isn't actually the model that he uses now. He's actually a different model. So, I don't know where to put Ryath. Ryath is just kind of mid. Actually, no. Ryath is... So what Ryath does is he flies around, he can hear noises, blah blah blah. But after he patrols, or after you get out of a chase with him, sometimes he'll place down fire on the ground, and if you walk into the fire, it won't just alert him, but it'll also do damage to you. So... I think we might actually have another A tier. Ryath was really hard to get past. So, boom. Ryath is bottom of A tier. The Phantom, it's a floating skull that screams at you and alerts other enemies when he screams at you. And then he just disappears. I mean, I don't really care for this guy. Then, we've got... So, next we have Barry from 9/10. Yeah, don't mind that tapping sound. I don't know, something's in the roof. And my fan's going. So, Barry, even though I think Garry is supposed to be stronger than Barry is somehow a lot more difficult to deal with. Because the skipping forward in time is a lot less avoidable. Gary's is like, he gives you 5 seconds to run away, and he won't teleport in that 5 seconds before stopping time. But Barry only gives you 2 seconds after he sees you. He also dashes towards you if he's too close to you when you make a noise, like a server. He is so difficult to deal with. But yeah, that's Barry. Next up, Kleenex. I used to call him Kleenex because it sounded like the tissue company. Kleenex is, he's fine, I guess. Kleenex is like, actually, now that I think of it, Kleenex is really hard to deal with. Not more than Garry, but Kleenex is really hard to deal with. By the way, we're getting into the exclusive to custom level content with Kleenex, and he's really hard to deal with. One, he detects you with his scanning thing. He detects you with his tool gun, and two, he like. He gets faster the more you fix, the more errors you patch. So, yeah, that's a bit annoying. Next up is Silent Man. I'm gonna put Silent Man in B tier. Actually, below, Minge Bag. Actually, no. I'll put him above Minge Bag. But, I don't know. I just was never bothered by him. Yeah. He's silent and his footsteps are very small, but he has an idle noise. He has some, like, heavy breathing that he can do. So, I don't really see where the name comes from. Next up, there is... I know, some of y'all might be confused why FNAF is in the game, but... Next up we have Bruin. Not Freddy, Bruin. Bruin is in B tier. B for Bruin. I want to put him below Null, but he's just not really, he's just not really a problem, like, at all. So next up is, hold on. Next up is Bunny. Oh yeah, something that is pretty inconveniencing is that you can't scan any of these animatronics with your tool gun. If you scan, they won't show up as red dots. They just won't show up at all, which is kind of annoying, but it's fine. Next up, there is Bunny. Bunny is very simple. The only thing about him is that he can't hear, so I'm actually gonna put him still above Minge Bag, though. It's still above Minge Bag because you can't scan him, and that's a big difference. But then there's Duck. Duck is a weeping angel. Duck only will attack you if you're not looking at her, and I can't really say much about it. about Duck. But I will say that Duck takes a lot of attention off Bunny. Because Kleinex is in 2 levels. He's in Hide and Seek and Office Massacre. Silent Man is in 1 level, which is Unforgettable. GME3. Bunny and Duck are also in 1 level. They are in Robotics. But Bruin and Wolf aren't even in any levels. They aren't. The head crabs are in a lot, but I won't talk about that. Okay, could my roof stop clicking? Never mind that. So Duck, I'm gonna put her above Bunny because she just takes all the attention away from Bunny, because if you don't keep an eye on Duck, then, well, she'll kill you. But then Bunny could sneak up behind you, and you need to look at Duck while running from Bunny. So I'm gonna actually put her above Null as well. She's actually really difficult. Then, with Wolf, his whole thing is that he has a very low attention span, but, he gets faster the longer he's in a chase with you. Which is actually a pretty cool mechanic that I'm gonna put above Bruin, but not above Null. Not above Null. Because of the low attention span, not above Null. Next up, the head crabs. First, the classic head crab, I'm gonna put below Minge Bag, even though the classic head crabs are really annoying in swarms. Like, in levels like Surface Tension, in the bonus levels I'm talking about, in the levels Surface Tension and Unforgettable, they are really annoying. But if there's just like 1 or 2, it's kind of fine. Then the fast head crab, definitely going above the classic. I'm not gonna put any of them above Minge Bag because, well, the Minge Bag can actually kill you in a reliable amount of time. Then the poison head crab is probably the least dangerous because he's slower. And then, now we are done. Can my roof stop tapping? Stop tapping! Now that we've done all the regular campaign enemies, the custom, well, oh my god, the secret level enemies, and the bonus level and the exclusive enemies, now we can do the bonus level enemies. I think I'm actually missing 1 or 2 in here. I think I'm missing, like, the Rotten and the Nuked. Yeah, I should probably go get those. Yeah, I'll be right back. Alright, guys, I am back. I have now got the Rotten and the Nuked, even though you probably can't see the Nuked, like, at all. Let's get straight into it with the error. Well, it's percent symbol, error, percent symbol, but womp womp, I'm just gonna call it error. So, the errors, well, these 3, maybe I should sort them based on what custom level they appear in. Some of these I actually forgot what they did, so, bear with me here. So, first up are the corruption and epilogue levels, where these guys are the enemies. We're gonna start off with the error. Now, the error are the weird black figures that just wander around. These guys don't chase you directly, they'll just walk around. I don't have that much to say about these dudes, but they will hit you, and if you walk into them, and once they hit you, they alert any other enemies, which is usually this next one we're going to look at. But the errors, I'm going to put them in a top of C tier. Top of C tier because they are never alone. They are always with another, they are always in swarms that wander around the map. Next up, the 404, which is in, which just like the error is in both the corruption and epilogue levels. The 404 is very simple, but he's also very fast. Once he sees you and you don't have a place to hide or get away from him, you're just dead. Because he's fast, and even though he does 10 damage, he hits very quickly. So, yeah. I'm gonna put the 404 probably in A tier, above Ryoth, above Semper, but I'm just gonna put him right there. Next up, the Abnormality. The Abnormality, he, hold on. Okay, so he charges at you very fast, but you need to look at him for him to stop charging. But then he'll, like, continue chasing you? I don't know. But these guys, I don't really care for them. I'll put them in a C tier, above the error, I guess. Next up is the Soulless, which I don't actually remember what it does. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go open Where's Garry. So after a quick check of what these guys do, the Soulless, they can't see very well, and they're not very fast. But unlike the errors, these guys will actually try to hunt you down. And when they hit you, they also alert the 404. So they're kind of like an error, but they actually chase you instead of just wandering around until you walk into them. So I'm just gonna put them above the error. I'm just gonna put them in the middle of the Abnormality and the error. Next up is the Adversary, or your adversary. So he detects you, and he'll just move slowly around, But when he's investigating a sound, or he's chasing you with a direct line of sight of you, he'll be much, much faster. This guy was actually really hard to deal with. I'm gonna put him up in A tier. Probably like right there. And next up is the Abomination. The Abomination is pretty simple. All he does is he's just very hard to get out of a chase with. So I'm gonna put him at a B tier. In the middle of Wolf and Bruin. Yeah, I feel like that's good. And then next up is the Archfiend, or the Archfiend. No, Archfiend. Archfiend. I don't know. So the Archfiend, that's what I'm gonna call him. The Archfiend, they are very quick, but they have a terrible eyesight and attention span. So, that's all I can say. The Archfiend, I'm gonna put right there, above Bruin and above the Silent Man, but not above Abomination. Next up, the Elite. So the Elite is very, very basic. There's nothing special about him. The only special thing about him is that he'll alert other enemies when he hits you. But that literally puts him below the Minge Bag. Even though he has a special thing when he hits you, and the Minge Bag doesn't, the Minge Bag is still more threatening than the Elite. Yeah. But next up, we have the Lurker. Now, the Lurker, as I was saying, the Lurker, what do I even say about this guy? So, the Lurker, he will investigate sounds, but he won't actually ever patrol the map. He'll only investigate sounds. Which is, actually a really cool idea. So, I'm gonna put the Lurker, like, right about... Right above, actually. I'll put him above the Silent Man. But next up is, I don't know if this is the Trudge or the Drudge. Because these two guys right here have very similar names. So apparently this isn't either of the Drudge. This is the Keeper, who appears in the grave diving level. So, the Keeper, what he does, he just wanders around, chases you, can hear sounds, all that stuff. But he can also place bear traps, which kind of just makes him like the Tainted. Oh, I forgot. Well, hold on, guys. So, the Keeper, is kind of like the Tainted, but a bit slower. I'm gonna put him, like, right there. But I forgot to talk about the Tainted, because the Tainted is actually another, enemy exclusive to the custom map, the map maker. They're in the same category as the Silent Man and Duck, Wolf, Bruin, and Bunny, Kleenex. So I kind of forgot to mention Tainted. Tainted's really annoying. Not because of the way they play, they just place down bear traps and that's it, but of the sounds they make. It's really annoying. So I'm gonna put them above the Keeper because they're more annoying. Next up, the Drudge with a D. The Drudge is very slow. That's kind of all I can say. The Drudge is slow. Yeah, that's all I can say. You want me to say something else? If you want me to say one more thing about the Drudge is very slow. Oh, we've already heard that? Like a million times? No, it's only 3 times, bro. Bro, get over it. But anyways, Drudge is... I'm gonna put him right there. Next up, the Cremator. Now, the Cremator, oh my god. The Cremator, 1, cannot get detected by your tool gun. He can't be scanned. 2, places fire down sometimes, kind of like Rioth. And 3, I mean, he's kind of slow, to be honest. He's like a weaker version of Rioth, but can't be scanned. So I'm gonna put him... I haven't actually died to this guy many times, though. So... I'm gonna put him right there. And next up, the Ghoul. Now, the Ghoul will, oh yeah, I have to say what level they appear in. Well, I'm not gonna say that for every single one, because I'm gonna easily forget that. But, I'm just gonna say that Tainted appears in Like on TV, and Cremator appears in Aftershock, alongside another enemy that will be coming up. Next up, the Ghoul, who appears in... I forget what it's called. It's something Waste Heap. He appears alongside the Ghoul. What? He's the Ghoul. The Ghoul appears alongside the Abomination and another enemy that will be coming up soon. But there's actually multiple ghouls in the level because these guys will walk around very slowly. They will get caught in various bear traps. And they will, they do very little damage and they alert other enemies when they bite you. That's it. The ghouls are very unintimidating. I'm gonna put them there. I'm gonna put the ghoul right there. Next up, the Dweller. Yeah, Dweller's kind of mean. The Dweller, he appears in Anomalous Error. No. He appears in Extermination. And in Extermination, he is alongside a bunch of head crabs. Specifically fast ones, I think. But we're just going to talk about the Dweller. The Dweller will loosely know where you are at all times. But he's actually kind of slow, so it's not a big deal. So I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him right there. That's where the Dweller will sit. Next up, the Grunt. The Grunt appears in Waste Heap, alongside the Ghoul and Abomination. The Grunt, he's kind of like an error, but a bit different. The Grunt will just wander around, and when he sees you, he won't chase you. He'll just keep wandering. But he acts like the error because if you run into him, he does damage to you. But he's actually a lot more dangerous. Well, not a lot more dangerous than the error, but he's more dangerous because he can place down bear traps. So I'm gonna put him at the top of C tier. And next up is the Harbinger. So the Harbinger is very hard to hide from. So if it sees or hears you, you'll have to listen for a roar that it makes to know where it's coming from. But this dude has killed me so many times. I'm definitely putting him in A tier. Above Rioth, above Semper, above 404, above Kleenex. Next up is the Headswoman. The Headswoman appears in... Wait, I did not say where this guy comes from. He comes from the Hellscape level. And the Headswoman, who we're talking about right now, comes from the level Solstice, where she is alongside the Headsman. Which, I'm gonna put her a bit below the Headsman, because she's like the Headsman, but with less vision. That's kinda it. She's kinda just a slightly modified Headsman. Next up, the Husk. So Husks, when they're patrolling, they'll go really fast, but once they see you and you start a chase with them, they'll slow down for like a couple seconds before really just booking it at you. They're kind of like upgraded ghouls, and they appear in the level... I don't actually know what level they appear in. But I do know that they appear alongside Meaty. And these guys are really annoying. So I'm gonna put them like right there. Next up, yeah, this is the Surveyor. Or not. No. This is the Surveyor. This is the Prowler. So the Prowler appears in, I think it's called Depths. I think that's the level it's called. He appears on the level called Depths alongside the Drudge. So he can't be scanned, and he's very sneaky. That's it. I'm gonna put him right there. Next up, the Scientist. The Scientist appears in the level Anomalous Errors. I'm gonna put him below the Elite. Which, he's very weak, but that's why there's so many of them in the level. Next up, the Restless. So, once the Restless sees you, he will slow down like a lot, but just like Wolf, he will gradually speed up more and more. And yeah, it's not very fun. He appears in the level Grave Diving alongside the Keeper. He's very. I like never see this guy, and if I do, he's never chasing me. So I'm gonna put him like right there. Next up is the Roamer. Now the Roamer, I think he appears in the Pipeworks level and Sandbox Horrors. In Sandbox Horrors, there's two of them. In Pipeworks, there's him and the Trudge. But the Roamers are very basic, but they have like a limited hearing range, I think. I'm just gonna put them right there. Actually, they've killed me more than Bunny, and Restless has, like, killed me once. So, I'm gonna put them right there. And next up, the Stalker. The Stalkers appear in the Our Benefactors level, alongside the Elite. And there's multiple Stalkers. They are very slow, and they do damage to you, but once they do, they will alert other enemies, in this case, the Elite. They are going in a C tier, right below the Ghouls. Next up, the Security Guard. The Security Guard appears in Anomalous Errors alongside the Scientist, and the Security Guard, there's only actually one of them in the level. Or two, I don't know. But I think there's just one. They're kind of just like a more dangerous Scientist, but I would say that they're more of an inconvenience than the Elite. So, there. Next up, the Surveyor. Don't mind why I just opened game. So, the Surveyor is very slow, and he's constantly slow, even when he's chasing you. But, when he does chase you, and he stops the chase, well, you stop the chase with him, he'll continue to try and find you until he eventually gives up and just keeps wandering around aimlessly. Also, he's deaf, so he's very easy to deal with. I'm putting him, like, right there. Next up, Oh yeah, I don't know where the Surveyor comes from, by the way. I think he appears in a level alongside Meaty, though, so cool. Next up, the Statue. The Statue appears in the level Grave Diving alongside the Restless and Keeper. The Statue, it gradually gets more chase speed as it sees you and it's paying attention to you, but it's a weeping angel, so it's a really interesting concept. And the statue's main goal is to hide among other statues which aren't alive, which is also really cool because you can't scan these guys, so you have to pay attention to which statues are alive and which aren't. It's a really cool concept, and I love these guys, so I'm going to put him right there, above the Restless. And next up is the Withered. So, Withereds are very slow, but in the level they are in, which is, I think, Dead Air, where they appear alongside someone. I think they appear alongside the Lurker, yeah. But anyways, the Withered appear. I can't speak. The Withered's main thing in that is to hide behind hazard doors that contain errors and power-ups and stuff. But you need to open those doors to get all that errors and stuff, which releases the Withereds into your main area. They're pretty easy to deal with if you're not caught up in other enemies, so good luck. Withereds, I'm actually going to put in C tier. Right there. Actually, I'm going to put them above the abnormality. Next up is Freeman. Now, Freeman appears in Anomalous Errors alongside the security guard and scientist. He always knows where you are, but he is quite sluggish. That's kind of all I can say. I'm actually going to put him below the security guard. So, yeah. Next up is Minge God, who is like a faster, more aggressive Minge Bag, who is actually really annoying. I am putting him in A tier. Above Rioth, above Semper, right there. He's really annoying. But next up is George. So, George, I know a funny name, appears in the level His Resting Place. And in the level, he always knows where you are, and if you get too far away from him, he will charge very quickly towards your location. So, it's pretty powerful. I'm actually gonna put George in A tier. Right there. Right there, yeah. Next up is the Operator, who appears in the level Aftershock alongside the Cremator. Now, the Operator, he's a very basic enemy, but he can scan you. So, yeah, is basically just null, but less powerful. So I'm going to put him right next to null. Next up, the soldier. Um, the soldier appears in the surface tension level, where there is two of these soldiers. The soldiers are very basic, but they will hear sounds that you make. What? Of course they will. They have a limited hearing range, which is apparently solved in the quote-unquote lore of these guys by saying that since there's so much radio chatter in their heads, they can't hear very well. Which is a pretty good explanation. And I actually kind of love these guys, so I'm gonna put soldier above the security guard. Next up is Skulk. So, Skulk appears in the... I forget what the server name is, but I know that it's called GM Plaza. So he appears in GM Plaza alongside the Lurker and Semper. Just like Semper, he won't move if you look at him, but if he gets too close, then he'll kill you. And he's kind of like a less annoying version of Semper, who I'm actually going to put a lot lower than Semper. I want to put him down here. Actually, above. I'll put you right there. And next up, the Warped. The Warped appears in multiple levels. There's one I remember called Science and Innovation, where he appears alongside the Minge Bag. Wherever the Minge Bag is. There he is. I'm actually just going to put him right there, because I think that the Warped can scan you, and that's it. He's very simple. Next up, hold on, can you all see? Oh, you guys can see that. Okay, well, yes, I have Where's Garry open to, you know, remember what some of these guys even do. So, next up is the Trudge, who appears in Hideout alongside a roamer. A roamer, right there. The Trudge is just very slow. That's it. I'm gonna put him right there. Actually, no, below the statue. Next up, the Rotten. The Rotten, they appear alongside George in the level His Resting Place. Now, the Rotten, they work kind of like a hive mind. When one hears you or one attacks you, they all come. Which is a pretty cool concept. So I am going to... I'm gonna put them right there. And then finally, the Nuked. The Nuked, I don't even know if you guys can see him very well, but the Nuked, I'm just gonna put one, just a bit above the Ghoul, because they basically just like ghouls, but they're easier to shake off in a chase, and they're transparent, so you can't see them as well. But I don't really care for these dudes. But yeah, that is the tier list. But as a little surprise, as a little challenge at the end of this video, I'm gonna give myself three lives to try and survive, at least survive a level that contains every single one of the enemies on this list. Well, not every single one of them. Since I have not actually beaten 9/10 yet, I do not have access to the secret enemies. So, everybody on this list except Garry, except Barry, Rioth, Umbrella Man, Null, Apparition, Administrator, and Phantom. Those are the only ones who we are going to be missing. Now, let's get to the level. Is the unforgettable bonus level. You know, the bonus level called Unforgettable, that, is the one that has Silent Man and a bunch of head crabs. Yeah, I added every single enemy that was on that tier list, except the ones I mentioned, that were not going to be on the tier list. So, let me just see how many messages we get of, blank has joined the game, blank has joined the game. Oh, that was a... Oh, that's a lot of things. Oh, that's a lot. Oh, that's a lot of... Oh, that's a lot of... That's a lot. Oh, thanks, Garry. Thanks. Yeah, You know what? I'll get rid of Garry. For purposes, I shall get rid of Garry. Because Garry... Like, you guys can look. You guys can look and see that literally everyone is scattering the entire map. So let me go get Garry and, like, evaporate him. So, let's try this. The last try didn't count. Now we have 3 tries. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah, we're dead. We're just cooked. Let's see who we see. Oh, hi, George. Huh. Okay. I feel like George is also a bit too overpowered. So, I'm gonna count that last try as a try. So... Now we have 2 lives left. That's something, alright. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Well, that was Heads Woman. Now, let's see, see what happens if I go this way. Oh, hi. Oh. I got killed by Elite that time. Yeah, I had no chance with this, I just did this for fun. Well, thanks for watching. If you want me to make a video on me actually trying to beat this, you're not getting one. And yes, I'm serious. I'm not doing this. Can you see how hard this is? Like, everyone is here. This is some Smash Bros. Level stuff. And I can't even imagine that with George or Garry. Well, anyways, see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.